Gary Nasai Minasan. Today we are gonna take our official first look on Kamen Rider Gotchard. Whether or not this is legit or not, I am not sure, but I am still really excited to discuss this rider because the design has been floating around on the internet for quite a few weeks already, and I'm quite afraid to kind of like cover this topic because I am not sure whether or not it is a legit news or is it just a fake news. I don't really want to cover fake news, even though sometimes it is really fun to kind of like just entertain like what other fan actually came up with a little bit of design. Okay, so if you actually look at this Kamen Rider, so you would actually remember a few days or few weeks ago there is another leak that they say that this could actually be Kamen Rider Gotchard, and I actually think that it could actually still be Kamen Rider Gotchard itself, because if you really take a look at the design here, it almost seems like he's like wearing a suit of armor, like an exoskeleton, as kind of like the gimmick of the story itself. And we would actually learn that the way he actually power up, the way he actually henshin is through using cards. He's gonna have a card and then he's gonna slot into his driver and then he's gonna henshin into different rider itself. Okay, so this is really interesting. But the reason why I said that the previous leak could actually be real, because this might not actually be the best form of the rider itself. Just like how we saw in Kamen Rider Geats, the best form of all the rider is the all black suit with their simple helmet. That is their best form. Okay, even for Geats itself, his best form is not Magnum and Boost. His best form is just the ID call and the entry. That's it. Okay, so I believe this photo of this rider, or of this goofy looking rider, of like I don't know how to actually explain this, but this rider looks like a really roundish rider that could actually be the best form of Kamen Rider Gotchard. Okay, so I don't know, let me know in the comment section below what do you think, because honestly speaking, this rider looks really goofy, really janky, and the design is not far from the official design that we actually got at the end of the day. Okay, so this is the official design, and I really how do I say, I kind of love it, but at the same time I'm not sure what to actually feel about the design, because at one point how do I say it, the goggles make it seems like it has multiple eyes and stuff, but it is a really awesome design, because it actually reminded me of Digimon, and why it reminds me of Digimon is because of the goggles stuff and all those stuff. But another thing is the design that we got here is, I'm not sure why do they actually design such a rider suit for this Kamen Rider Gotchard, because it actually reminded me quite a lot of Kamen Rider Ichigo. The suit, especially the helmet, looks very similar, and it almost seems like an homage to Kamen Rider Ichigo. It almost seems like this is what happened to Kamen Rider Ichigo when it actually tried to spread their wing. Okay, because throughout the entire series of Kamen Rider, I felt like there's a lacking of riders that, especially when they cover insect, they don't really show that the insect is actually able to fly. Okay, like even for I think what am I saying? I just ignore that. Okay, but what I'm trying to say here is the suit looks good. I love it. It also reminded me quite a lot of kind of like a steampunk looking rider, and this might be the closest thing that we can get to a steampunk Kamen Rider itself. And I honestly love the color scheme here, like the gold, not the gold, the orange and the cyan color. That is a classic color combination, and it looks really good. And even in the chest piece, there's a little bit of fire there. Not a big fan of like kind of like gradient color or kind of like printed stuff on the suit itself. I prefer it to not kind of like be like fiery pattern on a suit or something like that. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, I prefer one solid color, or maybe just a little bit of nut and bolts to kind of like show us that hey, they actually screw it in or something like that. But having kind of like a flame logo and the chest piece, I am not such a big fan. But with that being said, let us take a look at the official logo that has been announced. This is the official logo. It looks slick. It looks what can I say? It is a Kamen Rider logo. It reminded me quite a lot of Kamen Rider Drive logo, but based on how the angle is being positioned, something like that. So in English, it's called Gotchard, but in Japanese, if you actually read it properly, it's actually not called Gotchard. Okay, it's called Gotchard. Gotchard is, why is it Gotchard? We are not sure, but that is the name that we have. So we are just gonna roll with it. Okay, so moving on, the next thing that we're gonna see is the belt itself, the henshin belt. This is the henshin belt that we're gonna get. So we are not sure like what is the idea here by showing that Kamen Rider Gotchard is actually using two cars and slotting it into the belt itself. Like, what is this trying to show us? Like, is he gonna have a left and right different suit combination? Are we gonna get kind of like a sequel to W suit, something like that? Because if that is the direction that they are gonna go for, I honestly speaking, based on the suit that we saw, I felt like it is definitely gonna be very, very hard for them to actually do that. So I'm not so sure what are the two cards actually for. Maybe the first card is to access the first level, and then the second card is to access the second level. Maybe that is the case, we are not sure, but let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Okay, what do you think of the possibility here? Because I don't, after seeing the suit, I don't really see how they are able to incorporate like a gimmick where they actually use two different cards. Okay, so speaking of cards, we also get to see two different cards being shown to us right here, right now. The first card is obviously Hopper 1. Hopper 1 is the card that I would assume the rider is gonna use mainly. Okay, like where every time he henshin, he's gonna use the Hopper card, where he's gonna become the Hopper Rider, something like that. And maybe and then the second card that we have is the Steam Liner card itself. So maybe the two cards that we are gonna get at the end of the day, like the card that we saw him use in the story itself, is actually in the photo itself. What am I trying to say? In the photo itself is actually Hopper 1 and also Steam Liner. Okay, so maybe two cards at the same time. Like, we could actually see that the first one, Hopper, is kind of like the insect variation of the rider itself, but when we actually saw the Steam Liner, it is kind of like giving it the steampunk look of the rider itself, maybe something like that. But if you actually take a look at the card itself, we would actually see that it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 bar of, it's kind of like a health bar thing, kind of like an energy bar. But if we take a look at Steam Liner, it has 9 bar being fulfilled, and in Hopper 1 there's only 1 bar that is being fulfilled. So maybe in order for Gotchard to become to henshin into a rider, he would need to actually fulfill the 10 number. Okay, like he needs to fulfill 10 so that he can actually henshin into a rider itself, and he cannot exceed the number 10. Why he cannot exceed, we are not sure. I'm just speculating. So that is kind of like an idea that I have about them kind of like utilizing these two mechanic to, it almost kind of like, it reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, when they actually use the synchro summoning, something like that. So if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! You will know what I'm talking about. You need a tuner monster, and then the tuner monster is gonna be in charge of tuning the monster, and then you need to add the rest of the stars together to summon. Kind of, if you want to summon an 8-star monster, you can either use a 3-star tuner and a 5-star monster and combine it together to become kind of like a 8-star to summon an 8 stars synchro monster, something like that. Okay, so that is kind of like the idea that I have when I actually saw the bar thing and then like the 10 thing, the 9 and 1 thing. So maybe that is the direction they're gonna go for. I honestly speaking, I'm not sure how are they gonna actually do this, because I am, how do I say, like, they can make it work in a sense, but at the same time it will also create quite a lot of restriction, which is also good for the story writing department, because they don't need to explain so much why isn't him using this card and combo it with this card, something like that. Because in order for them to achieve 10, they will actually there is only such a limited amount of numbers to be added together to achieve 10. Okay, maybe there's a 10 plus 0, and then there's a 5 plus 5, 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4, something like that. Maybe we are all gonna see that, but then again, that is just a theory. Once again, this is the official first look of Kamen Rider Gotchard. We still have a lot of information that we are not so sure about, but now that we have the official first look of Gotchard, does that mean that Kamen Rider Geats is coming to an end real soon? Okay, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of Kamen Rider Gotchard first look, and let me know, do you love it, do you hate it, or you don't give a shit about it? Okay, but that is all from me. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.